Hi Megan, how are you?
Hi, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, it's a nice day here. I'm in Margate, so yeah, it's nice and sunny.
Thank you so much for coming on and chatting to me on the podcast. That was very kind of you. So you are an illustrator, a wedding illustrator in the UK. Is that
I
right?
sure am. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah, amongst lots of other things, but yeah, that is what I do. Yeah,
That's good. And anyone who wants to see what your style is should go onto your Instagram, which is it House of Live Illustration?
yeah.
That's
It's got the, so it's the House of Live illustration. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And I really encourage people to go on because your style is so recognizable. I really like it. It's very chic. I would say it's very like on trend right now as well. And people love that kind of minimalistic black and white, like almost Vogue style illustration.
Oh, thank you. That's kind. Yeah,
And
yeah.
I actually remember when I was first started up, it was about maybe 3 years ago, and I just all I wanted to do was be a painter because I'd just seen everyone in America painting these big paintings, and I didn't even think about illustration. But I was like obviously stalking other wedding artists in the UK, and you were one of the ones that came up with your big account, and I thought, oh, I didn't think you could do live illustration. So you were probably one of my inspirations in the start. So I probably pinched some of your style, sorry.
Oh no, it's good. It's amazing because I must have started. I was trying to work out when I started. I think it was a couple of years before COVID. So, a good few years ago now. And yeah, like it's really flourishing as like a whole kind of category, kind of almost. Like it's still really niche, but like everybody's got their own style and their own way of doing it. So it kind of means that like you kind of have competition, but you kind of don't. I think it's all everyone's just inspiring each other, and it's really nice to see people kind of appreciating art,
Yeah,
live art, and like getting having art pieces to be able to keep and stuff. So
yeah.
yeah.
So how did it start for you then? Because yeah, how did the illustration wedding illustration start before COVID?
So
I remember.
I've been an artist since as long as I can remember, just drawing stuff on the kitchen table, and then I went into I studied textiles at uni, and then I've always drawn. And then I went into like research with different agencies and color materials design with Nokia and Samsung. So I've always been creative, and I've always been really interested in people and observing people kind of throughout my research kind of history. And then I kind of hit burnout, and then I moved to Margate, and then I started to build up I really wanted to build up my art practice and basically be an artist, which is what I kind of always wanted to be.
Yeah.
Um, so I can't I basically I think I was just like, these are my like favorite things to do, like go to basically a celebration, dress up and draw.
And
And
just
I was
and
like,
get paid
um,
for it.
yeah, exactly, get paid for it. And like that can be my job. So I was like, I just sort of came up with it. And then I can't remember, I was trying to remember, like I did a few free practice runs, but like at real weddings to build up my portfolio, and then eventually just kind of went for it. So yeah, I
Yeah.
just created my dream job.
Was there at the time when you decided to do that, was there anyone else doing it, or did you just have to forge a path in?
I sort of like I don't think there was many people doing it. I think there probably would have been, now in hindsight, people doing it in America, but possibly more painting one picture of the
Yeah,
ceremony normally. But I didn't kind of realize that at the time. I just sort of took it upon myself to kind of like go for it anyway, without really knowing. I mean, I must have done a little bit of research, but I just sort of I just sort of went for it really, and have learned kind of like along the way how to refine it. But I've got my own way of doing it. Like everybody does it a little bit differently.
yeah.
So yeah, yeah.
That's great. Sorry, when you were talking there, my dogs are having a little hissy fit at something. The
So
Amazon man coming. Sorry about that. Um, no, that's great. So you're really a proper artpreneur, art entrepreneur,
Yeah, I'll
artistpreneur.
take that. Yeah.
And how have you found it? I suppose when you were just trying to force a path or create your own niche, it must have been really hard to market at the time, was it? Like people were a bit like, "Oh, what are you doing? I don't understand."
Yeah, so I think it started from word of mouth, and I did I can't remember the name of it. Is it Most Curious Wedding Fair? I did a big wedding fair in London, and that kind of produced quite a lot of interest. And then I found kind of linking with venues and with wedding planners quite a useful way of promoting myself. I think if you get recommended by a planner, then it's good for the planner because they're like, oh, I've got this idea, there's this like
Yeah.
quite interesting thing. So that was quite a good way of doing it. And then I've been on various different directories and done wedding fairs, and obviously have a presence on Instagram and a website and stuff. And so a bit of word of mouth, and a bit of kind of people finding me through just googling and stuff. But yeah, like it's still quite like, even though it's kind of becoming more of a thing, and it's kind of, people are starting to realize that there is people out there and it's like a possible idea to kind of like have it a wedding. It's still challenging for me as to like where to go to promote myself, and kind of like how to see more couples and how to get more weddings, basically. Like I kind of feel like I absolutely like feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like when I'm there at a wedding and everyone's happy and I'm doing my drawings, and it's like feels like it's really flowing. Sounds a bit cheesy, but it just makes me so happy. And I'm doing good, but like I definitely feel like there's room to get more. So I'm kind of always trying to conjure up new ideas as to how to promote myself, and to get kind of more local weddings as well. Because I'm quite I suppose like a unique style and quite niche, couples are willing, when they find me, say through Instagram or Google or whatever, they are not always like local, but they are, because they've kind of really bought into my style and stuff, they are willing to pay for me to travel further afield. So I've been to Wales and Derby and kind of Manchester and stuff, which is really cool to travel and stuff, but I'd love to do some more local stuff as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I think we're all in the same boat, really. I had the exact same thought, even just today. I mean, I've had a really great summer, but all my weddings have been scattered as far as Devon and Dorset and all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I live in Scotland, which is wedding place of the world. People come from all over the world. Why am I not getting enough Scottish weddings? And
Okay.
it's trying to create awareness, I think, of the whole art of having an artist at your wedding. And I just think it's not quite there yet in the UK. And the more of us that become artists and get out there and spread the word and make it TikTok famous. I don't know who was doing that. On you go.
Yeah, I know. Oh, the TikTok thing. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's weird, isn't it? Like, don't get me wrong, I love sort of gallivanting across the country, but it makes it a little bit more stressful. And it, like, Margate is also such a creative place at the moment. It feels like it makes sense that people should have an illustrator at their wedding.
Yeah, and it's just trying to find a way of how to promote it, how to make it a thing, or do we need to make it a thing, or is it nice that it's just got quite a nice niche and something special? I don't know what the balance is.
I know. I kind of ponder that too, because you don't want it to become kind of like a monster of it. I don't know, maybe that's the wrong word, but like, I don't want to just be churning pictures out kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's really special when, you get to know the couple, and I get so excited when I've coloured. So I do the drawings on the day in pen and ink, and then I colour them in watercolour, like just flashes of colour when I get back to my studio. So then I scan them all in, and I put them on like a special site that creates like a digital portfolio. So I get overexcited, and then I send them the link to the digital files, before they've kind of normally seen the originals. But I'm like, oh my God, I really want you to see like like it's cool, like they don't, you know, they want to see them too. But I can't remember where I was going with that, but yeah, like it's really special, and like I like it feels like, I don't know, it's just like a really beautiful thing. It's their big day, and you know, it feels like a privilege to be there and be a part of
Yeah.
it. So yeah, like you know, I do, but then in another sense, like I want to kind of spread the love and the joy of the creativity and stuff. So it would be, yeah, it would be good to get some more. But like it's interesting because I'm on, like I said, I was on a few directories, but like because we're still pretty niche, nobody really knows where to put you in terms of a category,
Yeah.
which is really frustrating. So you're like, well, I'm
Yeah.
not a caricaturist, and
And
I'm not like,
I'm not an entertainer, because then you
I'm
get
not
stuck with all the
entertainment.
bands.
I know, yes. So I'm like, I'm not really entertainment. And then there was one I'm on that they were like, we'll put you on, oh, what was it called? Like other things, or like something different. That was it, something different. And you know, there was like llamas and stuff on it. Like so like that was at least like, you know, I am something different. But like it's hard because there's no category yet. Like it's
Yeah.
really, you know, it's still not there yet. So yeah, it's
We should, we need to like maybe write to all these like, you know, the directory people, and say, look, you need
yeah,
to create a category.
yeah, they should. It would be amazing. I think it would make it easier for couples as well, because they'd be able to see everybody's different style in one place. And
Yeah.
yeah,
I think they're quite good actually. One magazine I was considering of um advertising in, I said the same thing to her actually. I said, nobody knows where to put us, and I don't want to be
yeah,
in with all the bands. And she says, oh, that's okay. Like she says, we can add a category, you just need to request it. So I think you just have to ask. You just have to see if
yeah,
doors will open.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I think there's enough of us now for to warrant a category. Yeah, I'll just
Yeah.
keep asking. Yeah,
Make us a thing.
yeah.
So when you're at a wedding, you're illustrating scenes. Are you looking for scenes to spot throughout the day? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, so like I kind of love, like I said, I really love like kind of observation, and kind of like maybe capturing things that you wouldn't expect. Like one of my favorite pictures is it was like a really big warehouse in Manchester, and I could get, there was like a mezzanine bit, so I could look down over these like really long tables, and all the kids were just playing, the bridesmaids and stuff were like playing on their iPads. So I got this little sketch of that. So yeah, like basically the couples give me free reign. The way it works is the couples like give me free reign to kind of like wander around and just like capture like the scenes of the day really. So yeah, like a lot of people like a lot of people on TikTok, and like kind of some of the more kind of out there people that I see are doing portraits. So that's kind of like what I'm not doing really. So I'm kind of like quite, you know, upfront about that. You know, I'm more
Yeah.
about, my pictures aren't perfect illustrations because I work really quickly. So
Yeah.
it's like way more about getting like the feel of the day, and the whole point of me being there and doing it there and then is so that I can like literally know what's going on, and I can feel the vibe and like capture it, like put it into the
Capture the
drawings. So
atmosphere. Yeah.
yeah, like I don't know, like yeah, literally like it's like getting the energy of the day onto paper kind of thing, and
Yeah.
like capturing like the whole timeline. So I normally, I've done a few where I've done the brides getting ready, but like mostly I arrive when the guests arrive, so I can kind of get the guests kind of outside the venue, and then the ceremony, which is really good, because the couple are normally staying still, so that's handy. So you can quickly get the couple getting married and taking their vows, and then the kind of, then it sort of depends how the rest of the day kind of unfolds really. But I will be there getting like the little drinks reception. I've learned the hard way that basically the bigger the venue, or if I'm outside even better, the further away that I can get from everything, the
Mhm.
much better the illustrations, because I can just get like a way better perspective and a better point of view, kind of angles and stuff. If the venue's quite small, then I'm kind of literally kind of shoulder to shoulder with people.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of like it's I'm quite intrigued when I speak to couples about where they're getting married, because that has quite a big impact on what the drawings are going to be like. So yeah, so it's good when it's somewhere big and spacious. Yeah, which it normally is, so it's fine. But yeah.
Yeah, do you always find things to paint, or do you panic? Sometimes, do you ever panic? Oh no, what am I going to paint today? What am I going to draw? I mean, illustrate.
Yeah, that's a good question. No, it's normally the opposite. There's normally like so much to do, yeah, and like because everybody's normally dressed up in beautiful colors and hats and like accessories, and like everyone's, yeah, like I think also like, yeah, so I'm not short of things to capture. I think the part of the beauty of my illustrations is that actually you get like they're not static feeling, they've got like some movement to them, because everybody is moving around. And unless you took a photo, well, like even if you took a photo, it wouldn't be the same as my drawing, because everybody will have moved a little bit. So I'll have maybe got, you know, things a little bit muddled up, but that's kind of like what they're about. So yeah, no, there's always something to do. I'm like, I need to go faster. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I suppose you could always ask the bride the night before, is there anything going to be happening? Is there going to be an ice cream van? Or is there going to be like a funny dance? Or
Yeah,
always something to find, isn't there?
there is, you know, like this, that I went to one in Wales and it was beautiful. I don't think I'd ever seen it before, but they they hung up, they had like a washing line with all the hats. And like there was a lot of people wearing beautiful hats and fascinators and stuff, and so they pegged them all up and they made a really beautiful picture. And apparently, what's the way, there's a special kind of like, if the, I think it's when the bride's mum has taken off her hat, everybody else can take off their hats or something like that. So yeah, I didn't know that, but anyway, there was all these really cool hats on the washing line, so I was getting that. Yeah,
That's cool. So you've told me about how it started. Do you think I think that every wedding leads to the next wedding, and I think that's the only way to kind of grow organically. I think that's the best way I've grown, is just word of mouth. At every wedding, I heard somebody say today, there's a customer behind every customer.
yeah.
There's a booking behind every booking. And it's just like the people that you network at the weddings. Is that what you find as well?
Yeah, like definitely. Like I think also it's like because quite often people will come up to me and they'll be like, "What are you doing? Like, are you like marking our outfits?" Because I look a bit like I've got a clipboard, and people are like,
Yeah.
"Are
Oh
you a
yeah.
planner?" Or like,
That's
you know,
what I was going to ask you
yeah.
actually.
And
Well,
I'm like,
how do you
I'm
identify
drawing you,
yourself?
I'm drawing you. So yeah, they love it when they find out that I'm drawing, and they're like, "Oh, what are you doing now?" Like kind of thing. So uh yeah, like I definitely, there was one guest who I spoke to who was like, "Oh, I'm getting married, so, you know, maybe you could draw up mine." So that like
Yeah.
sometimes it's like that of, you know, that obvious the link. But I think the other thing is because like sometimes there's a bit of a gap between when I do a wedding. Not like in the summer, it's not normally that big, but I think I just get such a buzz from it that when I have done one, even if there's not like another customer behind the customer, it's like giving me like, it's like, yeah, I love doing this, I want more weddings, you know. So it gives me some like bigger ambition to kind of like push the marketing and the promotion and stuff like more, so I can get that like
Yeah.
that little buzz. So yeah.
Oh, I totally get what you mean. Do you, I sometimes I get like a wedding come down, I think, on the Sunday.
Yeah,
If the wedding's been on the Saturday and then on the Sunday I feel like I'm hungover. I heard a photographer once told me it's because you're just dehydrated, you don't drink enough during the day. And maybe that is, but I also feel it's a bit of a like all your energy's drained, everything's gone out of you.
yeah, like definitely, I definitely get that, because like it's, you're putting your heart and soul into the creation of those drawings or those paintings. It's like
Mm.
um you know, like it might I don't know, sometimes it feels like when something comes easily, like, you know, like you're also kind of like performing a little bit, so it's definitely like there is like some adrenaline like pumping kind of thing, and like so, and like everyone's really like high and like buzzy, you know, like really excited. So I think it's, but I like natural that there's a bit of a kind of like woo, like down kind of thing. But like like it's nice to hear someone else say that that is like familiar territory as well, because I think I've sort of like realized that, like after doing a few and noticed that pattern, it's like quite exhausting. Yeah, you have to kind of like build yourself back up. Yeah, because you're kind of putting your all into it. It's a little piece of you. Yeah.
And then on the Monday morning, I'm ready to go again. I'm like, right, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Where's the next one? What's next?
Exactly. Yeah.
So I love how passionate you are about your art. You have to love your thing that you do, and you obviously love the thing that you do.
Yeah, no, I really do. Yeah.
Do you do other things during the week when you're not working weddings?
Yeah, so I work part-time in like a little gallery that's down the road in Margate, and I also like do commissions for some kind of editorial illustration, some kind of paintings. I've got like I've been in Margate for about 8.5 years, so I've built up like a bit of a name for myself with illustrations, and I've got various products in the Turner Gallery down the road. So I've got a Margate colouring book, which is all really beautiful illustrations of Margate for people to colour in, and a little postcard pad. And I'm also kind of known for my collaging, so I do collages as well of like the tidal pool and like various different kind of Margate landmarks and stuff. So I'm kind of often getting orders ready for the Turner, or doing commissions, or like promoting my weddings. Yeah, I've got like pictures in various restaurants, and I've done a few murals as well. So yeah, kind of like lots of bits of everything, but it normally kind of like is something creative at the center of it. Yeah.
You're very busy.
Yeah.
My last question to you was, what's been your biggest challenge this year, do you think? I think you've maybe answered that.
Yeah, I think it is the kind of like spreading the word, and I don't know whether not maybe reassuring people isn't really the right word, but just kind of like letting people find out about that it's a thing, you know?
Yeah.
And like when I do wedding fairs, people are always, you know, have lovely comments, and like they see all the drawings and they're like, wow, like I didn't know this was a thing. Like, so I think sowing the seeds of the idea in people's minds kind of thing. And yeah, being able to do what I love more, really. Yeah.
Yeah. I think as well, like you just put yourself out there, you be passionate about it, and your people find you. They really do. I don't know where they come from, but they just
I
find
know
you.
they do. They do. It's true. It's amazing when they do. Yeah. And you just have like a natural match. Yeah.
Yeah. So what would you say? What would be your words that you said to anyone who is an illustrator and is maybe thinking, oh, I'd love to maybe break into the wedding world and create art for people at weddings? What would you say to them?
Yeah, go for it. Speak to the directors and make them create a category so that we're all saying the same thing. And like maybe take the pressure off a little bit and do some practice. Well, not practice runs, but well, kind of like some for free, so there's less pressure. And so you can build up your portfolio and see what works for you. I know the way that I do it isn't how everyone does it, and like I suppose look at who's out there and how they do it, and like come up with some kind of hybrid thing of your own, but just go for it. Like I think it's like it can be like you got to be quite brave to do it and put yourself out there, but the kind of rewards and the beauty of it is definitely worth it. So yeah, like, you know, give it a try. Yeah.
The only way to learn is on the job. I think that's the only way to know what you love doing and how to do it, really.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Cool. So what's next for you for the rest of the year going onwards? So
I've got I'm kind of coming up with like a little promotional pack that I can send to venues and wedding planners. So I'm working on that. And I've got a show in a local place that I'm working towards that as well. And I'm doing a course to kind of build up my painting practice and like all sorts of things. So yeah.
All the things.
All the things, yeah.
Sounds so exciting. Well, I've loved chatting to you. You're so happy and bubbly, and I love how passionate you are about your illustration. Is there anything else you want to say before we close off?
Oh, just thanks very much. It's been so wonderful to speak to another artist that does a similar thing.
That's
I often make friends with the photographers because they're kind of, you know, as close as you get to kind of what we're doing on the actual day.
Yeah.
But it's nice to feel like I'm not the only one out there and that we have similar challenges. So it's been really good to talk about it. Yeah.
It is. Well, I'm glad I've made another friend.
Me too.
Okay, so I'll say goodbye. Thanks for your time, and I'll see you on the intro thingy. See you on Instagram.
Yeah.